But man, is that good. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dang, look at that. I know my brother wants this. Oh yeah, you want that? Hey guys, welcome to the Smokeslinger channel. I'm Frank Cox and this is my full-size Smokeslinger. Today, we're gonna see how many chicken quarters will fit on the top rack of this pit and how I would set this smoker up to cook evenly all the way across so that we can minimize the amount of flipping and rotating and stuff. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a thing. I'll be cooking recipes on the Smokeslinger brand of pits and featuring other people's products while we're at it. We're gonna go ahead and get these chickens prepped and get this pit lit. So let's talk a little bit about setup strategy for the Smokeslinger today. So inside of this cooker, there's tuning plates that go all the way across. Right now, I've got all of those just kind of shoved together and I'm not really set up yet. The reason the tuning plates are in there is to give us the ability to tune our temperature zones left to right. In other words, if we want that cooker to cook perfectly even left to right, we can set those tuning plates with little gaps in strategic positions to enable us to do that. Or if we wanted to have a really hot zone and a cooler zone, we could set it up like that. You would do that in like offset mode, or if you're going to reverse sear, you would have your fire on one side and everything else on the other side, and you would just kind of move it around based on those two temp zones in the pit. In this case today, I want it dead even because I'm going to fill this thing up to maximum capacity on one single cooking rack and see how many of these chicken quarters will fit and how they cook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split those plates directly over the fire baskets. I'm going to be closer together, and when I get off of the directly above the fire baskets, for instance, right in the middle or on the edges, I'm going to have a little bit bigger of a gap, with the biggest gap being all the way to the left and right. And then I can open up both of my exhausts the same amount. And then I'll get even airflow and I'll get even radiant heat from the fire, and I'll protect the bottom of the skin and whatever's on the bottom so it doesn't just blister it. Okay, on today's cook, since we're cooking chicken quarters and we're wanting them to all be about the same temperature, and I know that at some point we're gonna want to spike temperature, I'm gonna go ahead and use the inserts inside of my drawers. Now, I'm gonna pull both of these inserts all the way to the front. So we're gonna go ahead and fill both of these probably about halfway with charcoal, and then I'm gonna use the old Texas match to get this lit. No particular kind of charcoal. It doesn't really matter what kind of charcoal you're using. This method's gonna work really well. Lump or briquettes, either way. The way I'm lighting this evenly all the way across the top, it's gonna give me about 3 to 4 hours before I have to add more charcoal. And when I add charcoal, I'm just adding a small handful. We're also gonna be using some cherry wood today as well. What was that? Oh, I heard you. You said, why cherry wood? Because I got a giant pile of cherry wood and I don't have any post oak cut and split. So otherwise I'd be using post oak or something like that. I do have quite a bit of hickory, but I don't really want to use that on chicken just because it's so intense. There we go. A good old Texas match here. Hey, are you mad at me for buying this Smokeslinger? Are you mad at me for buying it?
No, I'm not mad.
Did I have to ask forgiveness or permission?
No, we spoke about it before you did.
Was it she money?
No. Cook good food.
That's right. Every wife's husband should have one, right?
Right.
Say it louder. Let me get that on camera. Every wife's husband should have one. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cook good food.
Cook good food. You want to get my dirty hands on you?
Gross.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing closed up. I'm gonna put one small split on each charcoal basket, and I like to put them towards the outsides. These splits here are about 1.5 inches and about 2 inches in diameter and about 12 inches long. And we're just gonna go ahead and shove it in. For our dampers on the bottom, I'm gonna run those about probably 1/3 of the way open. I gotta give a shout out to my buddies down at the butcher shop down in Mace Supermarket in Cuba, Missouri. Those guys killed it for me. I had to get 70 chicken quarters and I wanted a certain kind and they got them for me. They came in this morning at 7 a.m. thawed, by the way, which is really rare in a rural supermarket. But here we go. This is what we're using today, young chickens. These are chicken quarters. We're gonna go ahead and run with this. Thanks guys for helping me out on that. And just to prove it to the guys in the comments that are like, yeah, you hyper injected and you did all this crazy stuff, or the factory or whatever did it, I'm pulling them right out of the case. We ain't playing around. These are just good old chicken quarters. All I'm gonna do is rub them pretty much. I'm gonna get up under this skin right here and I'm gonna put me some seasoning under there. Normally what I like to do though is sometimes I'll go ahead and salt the skin with kosher salt, but I'm not really gonna do that today because we're just cooking good old fashioned chicken quarters and I wanna make sure and get that seasoning down on top of the skin in here, like that right there, just in that pocket. And I'm gonna go ahead and open this up around that leg and that way I can pull this back around. One thing I am gonna do is disjoint this leg and the thigh just to make it a little easier to deal with here, so it'll cook a little better on the inside. Bam, look at that, boy. Enough talk. Let's get to work. Okay, here we go. Oh man, can I fit one more? I think if I push, I can. Here we go. All right, guys, that's a full case of chicken quarters. That's 25. 25 chicken quarters. I love it. Let's let them cook. Did you bring reinforcements?
Yes.
Okay guys, it's been a couple of hours. Fire's been running really well. Haven't really had any issues at all. Now we're just gonna check on the temperature and then we're probably gonna flip. Get some sizzle action there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna flip these over, put the skin side down, and you guessed it, just like that. See if I can do it and still, I have to refigure my positioning, I guess, on this. The goal with this, the reason we're flipping these over is we're gonna run this cooker pretty hot and get that skin all crisped up, which it's not doing bad just from the feel I have right now of it. Dang, look at that. Love it. So this is gonna let that fat render down inside the skin as we continue to cook a little bit, and that skin is gonna get crispy. And then we're gonna have pulled chicken. This big guy, I'm gonna move him in just a little bit, get him away from the side there. We're not ready to sauce yet. We're just gonna let it rock just like that. Big thanks to my wonderful cameraman, Aaron, there for helping me out. We're gonna eat some chicken here in a little bit. That might be my thumbnail. Okay guys, now we're just gonna kind of wait it out here another hour or so and then come back and check. I'm not really too worried about the internal temp of this. I'm more worried about our tenderness and getting that skin crisped up at this point. Okay guys, let's take a piece of chicken off, see what it looks like. What do you think, Aaron? I think I'm ready to eat too. This one looks good. Oh yeah, look at that. It might fall apart in my hands. Okay, let's just see what he looks like here. That's the bottom. Here we go. You saw the juice pop out of there. Skin looks pretty good. Let's cut him here. Aaron says I'm gonna miss. You think I'm gonna miss? That's cheated. I did totally cheat.
One cut. Looks good.
That looks good.
Done.
Look at this thigh here. It's pretty good. So what I'm gonna do, this one here is an eater. It really should rest a minute. But I'm just gonna go ahead and tear in probably. Skin's a little bit tight. It's got good moisture in it. The funny thing about it is that when we decided to cook this chicken, we took it right out of the case. We didn't brine this stuff. We didn't do anything special to it. We just put it in the cooker. And we're looking for pulled chicken because these two guys, Aaron and my brother Nick, they're gonna throw down tomorrow and cook something out of it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That means we can't lose tomorrow.
It's hot.
No, I think the chicken's good.
Here, let me get you a better.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You want a piece, babe?
You want a piece, Jax? Not bad.
No.
So the reason I like to cook chicken like this with the skin down at the end is not just to crisp the skin, but because all that fat that's rendering and going down, it's catching it in that skin, and literally that fat is boiling on the inside of that skin on the underside. And so you wind up with a lot of moisture in there. Now, whenever we put this in the pan, it's just gonna sit there and steam. You can see how much fat is in that, off that chicken skin. We didn't scrape this, we didn't do nothing to it. It's just good old chicken, right? We're gonna let this sit in these pans and foil it up, letting that skin side stay down, and it's gonna be magic.
One more?
One more. There we go. Cool. Now I gotta cover it all up with foil. I'm gonna put them back on the cooker. Okay, here we go. Put them back on.
I'll take a pan or two.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially here once this is done. There we go. Let it rock here for a little bit and we'll be back. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and pull this chicken out here and see what it did while we were braising. Let's see, I'm gonna use this pan right here. Yeah, this one here. So the whole point of this, you know, you get the skin crispy with that direct heat, but whenever you're working with braising and stuff like this, it's gonna help to make it more of a bite through skin. Now, I'm not really sure what we wound up with here because I haven't ate any, so let's just see. And I ran out of nitrile gloves. just in time. So now we got to go barehanded. Oh my goodness. That looks awesome. It actually fell apart. Oh yeah, we're good. So the goal is that the skin does that. You see that, Aaron?
No, it went away in your mouth.
This tears off. That's what I was looking for with that. So my bone pulled clean right out of the chicken leg. So it's going to be some really good pulled chicken. You can see it's just falling apart. If you wanted to sauce and set this right now, probably what I would do, like that skin pulled back, but you could just get like some blues hog, go on there like that, then just move that around. Blues hog is a really good kind of a Memphis style sauce. It's got some vinegar in it, tomato based. Then you can just set that right on the cooker and set that sauce for a few minutes, or you can just cover it up. This stuff is so hot, I can't bite into that right now. But man, is that good. Oh my gosh. I know my brother wants this. Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
You want that? All right, guys. That's super hot. I got to let it cool down. But for the most part, if you want to cook 25 chicken quarters, that was the goal, is to see how many would fit, if we can cook them all even. They were all dead even when we pulled them off. They were great, and it was easy to run. Like, we've been sitting here just talking all afternoon and having a few drinks and, you know, nibbling at the chicken in between shots. So anyway, appreciate you watching. If you want to, go over to smokeslinger.com. You can check out these pits and get one on order. It's only 4-week lead time. So by the time you place your order, 4 weeks, boom, your pit shows up at your door. And we can give you a shipping quote, which will be cheaper than the website. So anyway, appreciate you. Till next time, keep your smoke thin and blue, and we'll see you on the flip side.